This is a great meat-free dish, which is perfect for entertaining, but also brilliant to take in as a leftover for lunch. So I'm going to be doing a goat's cheese, caramelised onion and pesto tart. So to start with, I need to get some butter into a pan, which I've already preheated, and a little bit of olive oil. Now in some sliced red onions. Now I'm going to cook those for about 10 minutes until those onions are lovely and soft before adding the rest of the ingredients. The onions are now lovely and soft, so it's time to go in with the brown sugar. I'm using soft brown sugar and some balsamic vinegar. It's going to add a lovely sharpness to the onions. And make sure they get a really good stir, mix it all in. Now that's going to cook for about 10 or 15 minutes on a very low temperature until it's lovely and thick and glossy and rich, and it's really sticky. It's almost like an onion jam. So while that cooks, I'm going to move on to making the filling to our tart. And for that, I've got some beautiful goat's cheese. I'm just going to mash that with a fork. And to that, I'm going to add some fresh thyme. Now just take the little leaves off the stalks. You don't want those stalks in the tart. Just run your fingers along them. Now to that, I'm going to add 2 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. Now using a fork, I'm going to make sure I've mixed the goat's cheese and those yolks really well. Okay. So to that, I'm going to add the cream straight in. A really good dollop, about a tablespoon and a bit of this wonderful fresh red pesto. And finally a pinch of salt, 1 of pepper, and some lemon zest. There we go. Now just give that all a really good whisk, just to make sure it's all really well incorporated and mixed together. And that's it, that's our filling ready. The red onions have cooked right down, and that's exactly what I want, that kind of thick, glossy, almost jammy consistency. So they're ready. The filling's ready, which I'm going to push to one side, because I'm going to bring over my tart case, which I blind baked earlier, and I've allowed it to cool. There we go. So to assemble the tart, we want a layer of these wonderful caramelised red onions. I'm just going to spoon them all in. Actually, that smells good enough to eat already, but we've got to get our filling in. So just give that one last stir and very carefully pour that into the tart case. And that's it. Now I've preheated the oven, and that tart's going to go in and cook for about 30 minutes. The tart cooked for about half an hour, and I took it out of the oven about 2.5 hours ago and let it cool right down. Now it's wonderful served warm, but I personally love this when it's served cold. I think it enhances all of those flavours. So now that it's cooled down, it's ready to portion. That's exactly what I wanted. That wonderful layer of short pastry, that fantastically tangy and sweet onion layer, and then finally that wonderful filling with the tomato pesto and the goat's cheese.